The following is a paid advertisement for Cognivance, brought to you by Living Well with Montel.
Imagine this is your brain. From the moment you're born to the moment you die, it's constantly filling up with thoughts, experiences, ideas, facts, and memories. The problem is, at a certain age, something starts to happen inside of our brains. We begin to forget. We have a hard time learning new concepts. All the data is still there. We just can't seem to get to it anymore. That's all going to change today. Come with me on an amazing journey through our minds and our bodies. We'll meet courageous families facing deadly disease and fighting back. We'll talk to the world's leading scientists, researchers, and physicians who'll share the very latest ways that we can all live longer, healthier, and smarter. And you'll find out about a revolutionary new supplement called Cognivance, born out of cutting-edge science and clinical research. This little capsule can not only help promote overall health, it may help reduce the incidence of certain cancer. It can even help improve our cognitive function, improve our memory, and help us stay able to access everything that's stored in our brains. Are you ready to take charge of your health? Thank you. And welcome to the new Living Well with Montel. You know, today we're talking about the vital role supplements play in our health. Supplements have been around for a long time. The problem is, most of them were formulated more than 50 years ago, and a lot has changed in a half a century. Now, would you really want to use something that's 50 years old? You wouldn't rely on a 50-year-old car, or you wouldn't want to watch TV on something this old, right? Or what about a cell phone? Would you rather use this one or one like this? The answer is obvious. So why would you trust your health to a 50-year-old supplement that might be doing you more harm than good? We're about to show you some surprising discoveries science has made in the last 50 years. Let's start with cognitive health. There are steps you can take to make you sharper, more focused, even improve your memory. To illustrate just how powerful your mind could be, we're going out to Central Park in New York to meet an extraordinary man. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, U.S. two-time memory champion, Ron White.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God, thanks so much for being here, man.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit for a second. When you have a title like that, it seems like you've been training, you went to school for this.
I got kicked out of college. I had a 0.9 GPA. I was 18 years old, really struggling with school, and I heard about a memory class.
So what could you do to prove how good your memory is, sir?
Well, why don't we do something called a name game? You give me your name, and we'll see how many names that we can remember. The average person can normally get 6 to 7 names, but let's see if I can get them all and if you can get them all. What's your name, sir?
Pierre.
Gail. Carla. Shira.
Andy.
Laura.
Kellen.
Tara.
Gary.
Chris. Stephanie.
Antonio. Kevin.
Courtney. Beth. Megan.
Montel's feeling good about this. I'm feeling good about this, so we're gonna keep going.
Rupert.
Diane. Shauna. Erina.
Jory.
Jory. Okay, it's good to meet you, Jory.
How do we get on it?
All right, how do you think you did, Montel?
Okay, I'm gonna start in the back.
Okay.
Let me go in the back and go
right.
back that way and see how many I can remember. I know I don't have them all. Kevin, Courtney, Beth, Megan. Megan's my assistant, so I got to say Rupert, Diane, Erina, Antonio, Tara, Kellen, Andy, Shira, Pierre.
That's incredible. That's very good. That's very good.
Though. You know, it's like,
No, that's very good. The average person's going to get maybe 6, so you doubled the average person. I think that's incredible, actually.
you got all these names?
I believe I do, yes. It's Pierre right here. It's Gail and Carla and Shira and Andy and Laura and Kellen and Tara and Gary and Chris, and this is Stephanie and Antonio, and that's Kevin back there, and Courtney and Beth and Megan and Rupert and Diane, Shauna, Erina, and that is Jory right there. So that's everybody. Yeah.
You proved it. Two-time world champion. No question. But see, what bothers a lot of people is when you start, your memory starts to play tricks on you, and you can't remember basic things like where you put your keys, what a meeting, what a phone call, whether or not you're supposed to call someone back. Those things right there start to interfere with your life. Take a look at this.
I've been pretty forgetful my whole life, and then I really started noticing a decline. I forget my car keys, I forget what I'm going to say all the time, I forget when I walk into another room what I went in there for. I now have to-do lists scattered all over the house. I make Post-it notes and I stick them to my mirror and I stick them to my bedstand. It kind of reminds me of my grandmother. She had Alzheimer's disease. It took away everything from her. If I'm 34 now and I'm forgetting everything, what's it gonna be like in 20 years? Am I gonna remember anything?
I can't remember people's faces. I can't remember their names. I can't remember big occasions. It's starting to affect my job. And now there comes times where I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to get to my house. And when I have my daughter in the car sometimes, she thinks I'm playing a game. Like, Dad, how can you not know how to get home? But then when I forgot her birthday, she knew something was wrong.
Well, see, it's stories like those, that's why I'm doing the show, because so many people want some information about how can they help increase their memory. And there are some specific tools that you use, right?
Absolutely there are. Your brain's like any other part of your body. The better you treat it through good nutrition and exercise, the better it's gonna work for you. I got a thing here I call brain yoga. So this is what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to take your hand out like that and put your pinky out, all right? Now I want you to take your other hand like this and I want you to put your thumb up. As fast as you can, I want everybody to switch. Put your pinky out like this, okay, all right? Now switch again. Switch, switch, switch. Another thing that you can do is to write with the other hand. Your brain remembers things out of the ordinary. Walk in your house and close your eyes and try to walk through your house, open the refrigerator, put your keys down, turn on the TV with your eyes closed. That's gonna be engaging your other senses. Here is one thing that you can do from now on. If you do this one thing, I promise you'll remember 30% more names. As you're walking towards that new person, focus your brain by asking yourself this question. What is their name? What is their name? What is their name? What is their name? Now, don't say that out loud, okay?
Well, see, tips like that are just the beginning. Now, for years, doctors and scientists have been working on nutritional supplements that can improve your memory. And now there's a new breakthrough that does that and much, much more.
In 1993, both my parents died within 3 months of each other. Their suffering and deaths had a very large emotional impact on my life. For the past 20 years, I essentially dedicated my life to ways to prevent diseases that cause a great deal of suffering and harm. The two primary ones have been cancer and Alzheimer's disease.
Joining us now from his research facility is Dr. Charles Day. Welcome, Dr. Day. You've been developing a supplement for about 20 years now called Cognivance. What does it do?
Okay, the big goals that we're addressing are mild cognitive decline in Alzheimer's, trying to reduce cancer, and we want to decrease all-cause mortality. That means dying from any cause.
Something happened a few years ago to you that made you change your mind about multivitamin supplements. What was it?
In 2006, a paper appeared in the medical literature that caused me to toss my multivitamins in the garbage can. And that paper showed that copper overload, primarily from multivitamins, increased the rate of mental decline by 143% over a 6-year period.
So what's the difference in Cognivance?
The doses that we have chosen for Cognivance are based on human clinical data. We don't care what it does in a rat or a mouse. We want to know what it does in people. In our formulation, in addition to eliminating the heavy metals, we also increase the concentrations of other things that are beneficial. We have 3 ingredients that help with a mild cognitive impairment. Number 1 is phosphatidylserine, an essential component in the brain that helps the brain function better. Clinical studies have shown that phosphatidylserine actually improves memory in older people. We have curcumin, which is an extract from the spice turmeric, which is a very potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidative compound. Oxidation and inflammation are key components in the generation of Alzheimer's and brain dysfunction. The third component is 3 vitamin Bs, a combination of which has shown to improve cognitive function and may even reverse some dementias. It's been clinically demonstrated to actually slow down the process of brain atrophy or degeneration.
Well, thanks a lot, Dr. Day. We're going to talk to you a little bit later on in the show. But first, look, we've been talking about cognitive impairment in a very, very clinical way. But it affects people and their families in a very personal and profound way. I want you to take a look at this.
My mother's name is Rosa Maria, and she's a beautiful lady. Beautiful lady.
I feel like my grandpa just understood me, and so he's my best friend. He was always there for me. He supported the things that I did. My mom is the one person in our family who always had the family gatherings, the decorations and the food and laughter and everything. She was just an awesome, awesome woman, but she doesn't remember any of that.
My mother is 70 years old and she has dementia. The first time I noticed that something wasn't right with my mother was around 3 years ago. My children went to visit her and she didn't know who they were. She didn't recognize me either, and I told her that I was her daughter, and she said that she didn't have any children.
When I was around 12, I noticed that my grandpa was starting to change, and when he was 58, he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He just started deteriorating more and more. I just miss my grandpa being around, having him to go to and tell him about the exciting things that are going on in my life.
I live in Indiana, and my mother lives in New York, and I am her primary caretaker, and I travel bi-weekly, 1,400 miles round trip. Financially, it's been a burden, and it's just been very hard.
The scary part of this disease is I don't think you ever know when it's going to hit someone. As early as age 28, someone could be diagnosed with it, and their life could be changed from that day forward.
Her dementia gets worse every day. There are good days and bad days. I just want to make the rest of her days, however long they are, the best that they can be. She deserves it.
When we come back, we'll get a chance to talk to Maria and Amanda. Stay with us.
Millions of people are diagnosed with dementia. Millions more are beginning to struggle with agonizing cognitive impairments. In America alone, more than 1 million people every year face cancer. Take charge of your health today with a 21st Century Enhanced Functional Supplement designed to do more than help you maintain good overall health. A proprietary formula more than 20 years in development with active compounds shown in clinical trials to help improve brain function and memory. And ingredients that may even reduce the risk of certain forms of cancer. Take charge of your health with Cognivance.
I take charge of my health by exercising, eating well, and making Cognivance a regular part of my day. And you should too.
It's hard to believe many vitamins and supplements were formulated over 50 years ago and may contain what studies suggest could be excessive amounts of potentially toxic metals like copper, aluminum, and manganese, all associated with progressive mental decline.
These vitamin formulations are archaic. We need copper, but we don't need excess copper.
The Cognivance formula contains no copper, aluminum, or other metals that have been associated with Alzheimer's. Cognivance was scientifically formulated with the highest quality clinically validated ingredients on the market today. Active compounds that may be neuroprotective and help maintain good brain chemistry, like vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid, recently shown in a clinical study to slow brain atrophy. And curcuma longa extract, a highly bioavailable version of free radical-fighting curcumin, shown in population-based studies to impact the incidence of Alzheimer's.
Curcumin is an amazing, very multifunctional biochemical.
And a patented form of a powerful amino acid called phosphatidylserine combined with DHA omega-3.
Supplemental phosphatidylserine, it is an essential compound and may reduce the rate of cognitive decline.
The incredible health benefits of vitamin D have recently been publicized with clinical data suggesting improvements in brain function, limiting metabolic disorders, even mitigating some cancers.
If you take vitamin D at a level of like 1,000 IU instead of the 400 IU in most vitamin formulations, this could help people stay healthier longer.
And Cognivance contains 100% organically bound selenium, shown in clinical studies to impact certain cancers.
This is a major advance, and this is something that I personally have been taking for 15 years.
Don't trust your health to an old-fashioned supplement that could be harming you. Trust the modern enhanced functional supplement formulated in capsules for increased bioavailability and efficient absorption. If it were possible to purchase the high-quality components of Cognivance individually, you could pay $150 or more. Go to buycognivance.com right now or call the number on your screen and get a 1-month supply of Cognivance for just $69.95. That's less than half of what you could pay to experience the benefits of all the clinically validated ingredients in Cognivance.
And because I want you to make Cognivance a part of your healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life, I'm going to make it even more affordable. When you call or go online to order, you can find out how you can save an additional 20% every single month and even get free shipping. Now, there's no excuse to wait. Start taking charge of your health today. Stay sharp, stay well, take charge of your health with Cognivance.
Her dementia gets worse every day. I just want to make the rest of her days the best that they can be.
I just miss my grandpa being around, having him to go to and tell him about the exciting things that are going on in my life.
Well, you just saw Amanda and Maria's story, and welcome them now to our Cognivance show. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
We don't know why, but it appears that degenerative brain disease is on the rise, and there are varied forms, and Alzheimer's, dementia. And Amanda, for you, and I'm so sorry, your grandfather has passed, but you were 12 years old when he was diagnosed. Are you afraid that this could be something that you'll be facing when you get older?
I definitely don't like to think about it, but it's in the back of my mind.
Science has stated that there are things that we can do that may not necessarily cure or stop, but we can actually slow down the progression and slow down the diagnosis through exercise, diet, supplementation, the right nutrition. And all the things that you've been doing for your mom, you have been neglecting your own health. At least that's what your daughters say.
Yes, that's very true, because I'm obsessed with making sure that my mom is cared for properly and adequately, and that I can preserve the rest of her life.
But we do understand that that's going to be impossible if all of a sudden something happens to you.
Correct,
right?
yes.
So what kind of toll has this traveling back and forth for the last year taken on you, your life, your family's life?
It's very taxing financially, emotionally, mentally. I've subsequently lost a job, lost my home. This was not something I was prepared for, and my life has been turned upside down.
And just like any other daughter, would this be any other way?
No. That's my mom, and I'll do what I need to do, whatever it takes.
Millions experience the same pain as Maria and Amanda, and I wanted to find out why. So I went to the office of renowned neurologist and professor, Dr. Richard Isaacson.
Everyone is at risk for Alzheimer's disease. Everyone is at risk for losing their memory. Why? The #1 risk factor for Alzheimer's disease is age. But what I think a lot of people don't realize is Alzheimer's disease starts in the brain 20 to 30 years before the first symptom of memory loss. So we can support brain cells using proper nutrition, exercise, very specific dietary and lifestyle changes. These are things that can help support brain function to help the brain cells work better over time.
Let's talk a little bit about the value of what's in your diet, and that could either be through supplementation or certain things that we should be making sure we eat.
DHA is a very specific type of omega-3 fatty acid. And when you look at patients that have very mild memory loss, or even are at risk of developing Alzheimer's, and you can take a supplement of DHA, that can actually protect your brain.
There are some other forms of supplementation that's out there, like curcumin.
Absolutely. Curcumin has a lot of evidence in terms of what it's called population-based studies. That means when you look at groups of people, for example in India, people in India age 70 to 79 that have a lot of curry in their diet, they have 4 to 5 times less the incidence of Alzheimer's disease. So what does all this mean? Curcumin has very strong antioxidant properties. It may even attack the bad protein that builds up in the brains of Alzheimer's patients called amyloid.
Why is it important to take vitamin B?
There's recent, very strong evidence that shows that if you can start a combination of the B vitamins, you can delay the shrinkage of the memory center of the brain by up to 2 years. We can all make brain-healthy lifestyle choices throughout our duration of our youth, middle age, and even elder age that has been shown by science to help protect brain cells.
Well, we're back with Dr. Charles Day. And Dr. Day, let's shift our focus now to the ingredients in Cognivance that may help to reduce our risk of certain forms of cancer.
Cognivance is based on human clinical trials which have demonstrated an effect on preventing cancer. The primary clinical trial was the nutritional prevention of cancer conducted by Dr. Larry Clark. He showed that total cancer deaths were reduced by 50% using a selenized yeast formulation. And in Cognivance, we use exactly the same material that Dr. Clark used in his monumental study. We've added curcumin. There are hundreds of research papers published on the anti-cancer activity of curcumin. We've increased vitamin D content because there's a tremendous amount of clinical information on the benefits of vitamin D.
Well, thanks, Dr. Day. And look, once again, I want to make sure we don't lose sight of the human connection and the toll cancer takes on the people we love. Take a look at this.
I met my husband in college.
She used to like me in college, but you know.
And I could not stand him.
When she found out I was single, she came back and started liking me again.
A couple of years later, my feelings changed.
It was just great. My twin daughters are from a previous relationship. Her daughter's from a previous relationship, but you know, everybody got along well. And and then she got sick.
I was sick for what seemed like forever. I was sick for at least 6 months. Horrible, horrible stomach ache.
We literally went to the doctor 4 months straight.
And they kept telling me, oh, you need to add more fiber to your diet. You know, try Metamucil.
Her mother was a 2-time cancer survivor. The doctors never really looked into that.
They just sent me home. And then one night, I just remember being on the floor in the bedroom. I couldn't breathe. It was awful, and I apologized to my husband. I said, babe, they're gonna tell me what is wrong with me, whether they like it or not.
And that's when she was diagnosed with colon cancer.
When you think cancer, you think death. So I automatically thought, okay, my time is up. But let them do whatever they had to do. So that meant getting a colon resection, doing a colonoscopy, and within days getting the tumor removed.
Literally 3 weeks after she finished her last cycle of chemotherapy, the cancer returned in her neck, which graduated her to stage 4.
There's absolutely no way you can get through something like this alone. Impossible. I need Eugene there, and he has been there. And a lot of times people have told us stories in the hospital, oh, you got a good man, because I have taken care of a bunch of patients. Their caretakers just walk out because they just can't take it. Eugene, he's my Superman.
When we come back, we'll get a chance to talk to Eugene and find out how Keisha's doing.
Take charge of your health today with a 21st Century Enhanced Functional Supplement designed to do more than help you maintain good overall health. A proprietary formula more than 20 years in development with active compounds shown in clinical trials to help improve brain function and memory. And ingredients that may even reduce the risk of certain forms of cancer. Take charge of your health with Cognivance.
I take charge of my health by exercising, eating well, and making Cognivance a regular part of my day. And you should too.
Cognivance was scientifically formulated with the highest quality clinically validated ingredients on the market today. If it were possible to purchase the high quality components of Cognivance individually, you could pay $150 or more. Go to buycognivance.com right now or call the number on your screen and get a 1-month supply of Cognivance for just $69.95. That's less than half of what you could pay to experience the benefits of all the clinically validated ingredients in Cognivance.
And because I want you to make Cognivance a part of your healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life, I'm going to make it even more affordable. When you call or go online to order, you can find out how you can save an additional 20% every single month and even get free shipping. Now, there's no excuse to wait. Start taking charge of your health today. Stay sharp, stay well, take charge of your health with Cognivance.
One night, I just remember being on the floor in the bedroom. I couldn't breathe. I said, babe, they're gonna tell me what is wrong with me, whether they like it or not.
Well, please welcome Eugene. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me.
I want you to explain to people, because again, people at home don't understand that, number one, they have a right to do exactly what Keisha did.
Right.
I demand that you treat me.
2 of the doctors we went to, one of them said, well, let me tell you what you don't have. You don't have cancer.
Exactly those words.
That's his exact words. You don't have cancer. It's like a blur. It was literally like a point from when this doctor came in there and he was, until he was like, we see something, and not only do you have cancer, but it's bad and you need to go into surgery as soon as possible.
She is now under what they consider medical surveillance.
Right. And she gets scanned every 3 months now.
Susceptibility to this disease is higher in us, African Americans, partly because of our diet. What are you guys doing now actively to help change your diets? Are y'all doing it?
We're trying, to be honest with you, because since my wife has been sick, I've gained 60 pounds. And it's mostly from spending the night in the hospital and eating what's around the hospital, and so we're walking a little bit more now. So we're literally just taking baby steps to getting ourselves healthy again.
To help us understand how a healthy lifestyle can impact lives like Eugene and Keisha's, I turn to my friend, colorectal surgeon and professor, Dr. Jonathan Sakier. So Doc, you see things like the story that we just reported about a woman who has colon cancer. She's a doctor for 6 months.
It's outrageous, is what it is. It's outrageous. and it's a tragedy. And if it had been caught earlier, the outcome might have been very different.
Supplementation. What do you think about supplementation, doctor?
I look at the best data available today, and I use that to make decisions today. And the best data today tells me vitamin D3 can impact your risk of getting cancer.
In Cognivance, we have a product, something that's called selenium.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
Selenium has been shown to be what's called a free radical scavenger. So basically, it's like an undercover cop, and it goes around and picks on the free radicals and beats the crap out of them, okay? So that they can't damage cells.
What about the supplement curcumin?
It has also been demonstrated in some clinical trials to impact the incidence of colorectal cancer, the nastiness of cancer, the things you can definitely impact. So keeping your weight under control, eating more fiber, eating less saturated fat, eating more leafy green vegetables and fruits, a diet rich in selenium or supplementing, vitamin D3 and other elements. You should know about them, and I personally think you should do the best you can based on the evidence today.
So we've heard the statistics. We met families coping with heartbreaking illness, and we met some of the world's leading doctors and researchers who gave us all hope. The bottom line is this: if you take charge of your health, there are things you can do to stay healthier longer. Pay attention to your diet, exercise, keep your mind, body, and spirit engaged. Seek out the best quality information you can find. If you do all these things, you can live a better life. Join us on the next Living Well with Montel.
Millions of people are diagnosed with dementia. Millions more are beginning to struggle with agonizing cognitive impairments. In America alone, more than 1 million people every year face cancer. Take charge of your health today with a 21st Century Enhanced Functional Supplement designed to do more than help you maintain good overall health. A proprietary formula more than 20 years in development with active compounds shown in clinical trials to help improve brain function and memory. And ingredients that may even reduce the risk of certain forms of cancer. Take charge of your health with Cognivance.
I take charge of my health by exercising, eating well, and making Cognivance a regular part of my day. And you should too.
Cognivance was scientifically formulated with the highest quality clinically validated ingredients on the market today, like vitamins B6, B12, and folic acid, a highly bioavailable version of free radical fighting curcumin, a patented form of a powerful amino acid called phosphatidylserine, combined with DHA omega-3, and Cognivance contains 100% organically bound selenium. If it were possible to purchase the high-quality components of Cognivance individually, you could pay $150 or more. Go to buycognivance.com right now, or call the number on your screen and get a 1-month supply of Cognivance for just $69.95. That's less than half of what you could pay to experience the benefits of all the clinically validated ingredients in Cognivance.
And because I want you to make Cognivance a part of your healthy lifestyle for the rest of your life, I'm going to make it even more affordable. When you call or go online to order, you can find out how you can save an additional 20% every single month and even get free shipping. Now, there's no excuse to wait. Start taking charge of your health today. Stay sharp, stay well, take charge of your health with Cognivance.
The proceeding was a paid advertisement for Cognivance, brought to you by Living Well with Montel.